Hi there, I'm Ramon Irizarry, Program Director at Lifeline. I'm really glad you're here with me today because we're going to talk about a word that we often misunderstand, service. For many of us, when we hear service, we think of sacrifice, of losing ourselves, of carrying other people's burdens. But today, I want to invite you into a very different way of looking at it. I want to show you how service can be one of the most powerful forces for your own healing, for your brain, your nervous system, your emotional life, your sense of purpose. Not as a theory, not as a moral lecture, but as a very real, very practical way to live. So if you can, take a slow breath in and a long, gentle breath out, and just let this time be for you. Let's start with a simple question. When was the last time you genuinely helped someone? Not a huge act. Maybe you checked in on a friend, helped a colleague, listened to your child with full presence, gave directions to someone who looked lost. Now think back to how you felt right after that moment. Did you feel a bit lighter, a little proud, warm in your chest, more settled inside? That feeling is not a coincidence. It's not just being a good person. It's your biology responding. Every time you do something kind or helpful, your brain's reward system switches on. Regions like the ventral striatum and the mesolimbic pathway light up. Your brain releases dopamine, which boosts motivation and focus, and oxytocin, which deepens trust and emotional bonding. In other words, your brain is basically saying, that felt good, that was meaningful, let's do more of that. Over time, this kind of helper's high is linked with lower inflammation, better heart health, and even a stronger immune system. People who regularly help others also show lower rates of depression and stress. So right away, we can challenge one big myth: service doesn't just take from you, done in a healthy way, it actually nourishes you. Yes, it can be tiring if it's coming from obligation or guilt. Yes, it can drain you if you're already depleted and overriding your limits. But genuine, freely chosen acts of service are actually wired to support your health. And that's where I want us to live for the rest of this talk. I want to make this real for you, not just theoretical. So if it's safe to do so where you are, try this with me. Close your eyes for a moment. Think of one specific memory where you helped someone. It could be something small. Maybe you sat with a friend who was sad, you cooked for someone when they were overwhelmed, you gave honest encouragement when someone had lost confidence. Now just revisit that moment. What exactly did you do? What did you see on their face or hear in their voice? How did you feel immediately afterward? Now slowly scan your body as you remember. Where do you feel it? Warmth in the chest, softness in the face or around the eyes, a little lightness in the stomach, relaxation in your shoulders, those sensations, that awe feeling, that's your nervous system responding to service. Your parasympathetic system, the rest and restore mode, starts to take over. Your heart rate may soften, your muscles may relax, your body is literally signaling, this is safe, this is good, this is aligned. We often think self-care is only about what we do for ourselves: sleep, food, time off, movement, and that's absolutely true and essential. But this is another dimension of self-care. What you do for others can quietly regulate and heal you too. Not because you disappear, but because in that moment, your life becomes bigger than just you. Now, a lot of times when we talk about service, the mind jumps to big ideas: starting a charity, quitting your job to volunteer, doing something dramatic and huge. But the science and honestly, human experience shows something very beautiful. Tiny acts of kindness can have a big impact. A smile at a stranger, letting someone go ahead in a queue, sending a quick voice note that says, "Hey, I'm thinking of you," holding the door, sharing a useful resource or tip with no expectation. Even these little gestures activate the brain's reward and empathy networks. Regions like the ventral striatum and medial prefrontal cortex. Oxytocin increases, your blood pressure can drop a bit, and you feel more emotionally safe. And there's something else. Your brain remembers these moments. Studies show that we tend to carry the emotional echo of kind acts, whether we give them, receive them, or even just witness them, for hours. They change the tone of the day. So if you've ever thought, I don't have time to serve, I want to gently suggest, you don't need more time. You just need a slightly different intention with the time you already have. Service doesn't always look like a grand project. It often looks like a moment, a soft word instead of a sharp one, a pause instead of an eye roll, a message instead of silence. These micro moments of kindness are like tiny deposits into your emotional and relational bank accounts, yours and theirs. Let's zoom out for a moment. So many of us struggle with questions like, what is my purpose? What am I here for? Does my life matter? And purpose can feel like this mysterious thing you're supposed to stumble upon one day in a big revelation. But if you look at how the brain and mind work, something else becomes clear. When you help others, especially in ways that align with your values, you activate brain regions that are involved in self-reflection and identity. Areas like the medial prefrontal cortex and the broader default mode network. That's a fancy way of saying serving others helps you feel like you matter. You're part of a bigger story. You're not just surviving, you're contributing. There's also research showing that people with a strong sense of purpose live longer, handle stress better, and are more likely to take care of their health. But notice something important. Most people don't find purpose by sitting and thinking about it. They build it by showing up for their family, their community, a cause, their work, their students, their patients, their clients. Purpose is not a destination. It's a pattern of meaningful service repeated over time. You don't have to know your big purpose to start. You just ask, who or what do I care about? Where can I be of use right now in a way that's true to me? And then you take one small step in that direction. Now, it would be incomplete and unfair to talk about service without acknowledging something important. Many people are exhausted because they give too much in ways that are not sustainable. Maybe you're the person everyone calls. Maybe you're always the responsible one. Maybe you say yes when every cell in your body wants to say no. Service then stops being nourishing and becomes self-erasure. So let me be very clear. Healthy service isn't martyrdom. You are not required to burn out to be a good person. In fact, when you help from a place of chronic depletion, stress hormones like cortisol are already high, your nervous system is already frayed, and even your kindness starts to feel heavy, both to you and sometimes to the person you're helping. Research and experience both suggest something simple. The most sustainable, joyful form of service is when you give from your overflow, not from your last remaining drops. That means you rest, you nourish yourself, you set boundaries, you say, I can't do this right now, when you truly can't. You allow others to help you too. One of my favorite lines to remember is, I can care deeply without carrying everything. You're not here to save everyone. Sometimes your role is just to listen. Sometimes it's to connect someone to another resource. Sometimes it's simply to say, I see you, I'm with you. Service goes wrong when it becomes control. I must fix you. I must solve this. I can't rest until everyone is okay. Service becomes healing when it's rooted in intention, not obsession. So if you're listening to this and thinking, I already give a lot, I'm tired, your next act of service might actually be toward yourself. Saying no, resting, stepping back, letting go of the responsibility to fix people's lives. That too is part of the path. We often imagine service as something we do out there, for strangers, for causes, for communities. But one of the most powerful places to practice service is actually right in front of you, your inner circle, your partner, your parents, your children, your siblings, your closest friends, the people you live or work with every single day. Sometimes it's easier to be kind to strangers than to be patient with those closest to us. Familiarity makes us lazy. We go on autopilot. We assume they'll understand. We stop saying thank you. We stop listening. But think of it this way. If you drew a little circle and wrote your name in the center, who are the 4-6 people around you whose well-being is directly impacted by how you show up? Serving them doesn't need big drama. It can look like putting your phone away and really listening, doing a chore without announcing it, saying, I'm grateful for you, and meaning it, apologizing when you're wrong, being emotionally available, not just physically present. There's a beautiful line that says, it's not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving. Two people can do the same action, make dinner, send a message, help with a task, but the energy behind it completely changes how it's received. Your brain actually knows the difference. When you give from a genuine place of warmth and presence, regions involved in value, empathy, and connection activate more deeply. You feel it. They feel it. So if you want to deepen your service practice, you don't have to look far. You can start right at home. Ask yourself, is there one person I could show up for with a bit more heart today? Then do one concrete thing for them, small, specific, and real. Now let's expand outward again, from me to we. We live in a time where a lot of people feel lonely, disconnected, or like they're carrying life alone. One of the most powerful antidotes to this, aside from individual therapy, self-work, and all of that, is community service. Not necessarily in a formal way, but simply being part of something bigger than your own to-do list, helping at a local event, joining a neighborhood cleanup, mentoring someone younger in your field, showing up regularly in a group that supports a cause you care about, contributing your skills where they're needed. Social connection is not extra. It's a physiological nutrient, just like sleep and light. When you engage in community service, you're activating bonding and reward circuits in the brain. Oxytocin goes up, cortisol comes down, you feel more resourced, less isolated, and something else happens. You start to see that you are part of a living, breathing network. You're not just an individual trying to fix yourself. You're a thread in a much larger fabric. That perspective shift is healing in itself. You might remember times when you participated in something community-based, maybe a fundraiser, a project, a ceremony, a support group, and afterward you felt full. Tired maybe, but meaningful tired. The kind of tired that says, today mattered. That's the energy of community service. It's not always glamorous, often it's quite ordinary, but the cumulative effect on your emotional and mental health can be remarkable. Since you're here with us at Lifeline, I also want to connect all of this back to your journey on the app. When you log your mood, reflect, track your rituals, and move through these themes like service, you're not just collecting points or finishing tasks. You're training your nervous system. You're teaching your brain and body to associate, helping others, being present, setting boundaries, showing up for community, with safety, with reward, with meaning. And as you go through activities like mapping your helper's high in your body, practicing micro-kindness, reflecting on your purpose, or rebalancing your energy budget, you're building a new internal template. I can be of service and I can be well. I can care for others and care for myself. I can live for something larger than me without disappearing. That's the balance we're aiming for. We've covered a lot, so let's bring it down to something very simple and very doable. If you remember nothing else from this conversation, remember this: one sincere act of service a day. That's it. Not perfect service, not huge service, not Instagram-worthy service, just one real intentional act that says, I see you, I care, I'm willing to help in a way that is honest and sustainable for me. That act might be toward your own body, rest, nourishment, sleep, someone in your inner circle, a stranger, your community, a cause, or even your future self. Over days and weeks, these small acts add up. They shape your identity. I am someone who contributes. They regulate your nervous system. They soften your loneliness. They deepen your sense of purpose. And they remind you, you are not separate from the healing you give. As we close, take one more slow breath in and a slow breath out. Just notice how you feel right now, emotionally, physically. Maybe there's a little more softness, maybe a bit more clarity, maybe some resistance. All of it is okay. Service is not about becoming a saint. It's about becoming more human, more connected, more grounded, more present. So here's my invitation to you. Today, choose one act of service. Let it be small. Let it be real. Let it come from your heart, not from pressure. And as you do it, pay attention, not just to the impact on the other person, but to the impact inside you. Because the secret of service is this: when you give in a healthy, boundaried, heartfelt way, you don't just change someone else's day, you quietly transform your own life. Thank you for being here, for doing this work, and for all the ways, seen and unseen, that you already serve.